What's the darkest way to handle disrespect? It's not through shouting, not through revenge, and certainly not through emotion. It's through silence, precision, and cold, calculated control. Machiavelli understood a fundamental truth. Disrespect isn't about the words spoken, it's a test of power. When someone disrespects you, they're probing your position in the invisible hierarchy of dominance. They want to see if they can shatter your composure, if they can make you lose control. The moment you react emotionally, you hand them the victory. You confirm their power over you. But what happens when you stay silent, completely unshaken? Suddenly, they're the ones left questioning their own worth. Your calmness becomes a mirror reflecting their own insecurity. This is the beginning of your victory. Disrespect feeds on your reaction. Anger gives it life. But a calm, composed response starves it instantly. As Machiavelli would say, a wise man never fights on another man's terms. When you react out of wounded pride, you're stepping onto their battlefield, where emotion clouds all reason. But when you remain calm, you force them to play by your rules they don't even understand. The most potent response to disrespect is to show no response at all. Why? Because your silence is the ultimate punishment. It denies them validation. It denies them control. It denies them existence in your world. So let them throw their insults. Let them underestimate you. Let them celebrate their imagined victory. Because while they're patting themselves on the back, you are quietly planning your next move. Machiavelli taught that revenge is not about anger. It's about timing. A strong person never strikes when they're angry. They strike when their victory is absolutely guaranteed. That is the true art of control. Imagine letting the disrespect pass through you like the wind, only to return in silence like a storm they never saw coming. The weak feel an urgent need to restore their ego immediately. The strong, however, preserve their dominance with patience. When you act out of emotion, you're just reading a script they wrote for you. But when you act out of calculation, you rewrite the entire play. The key is to never let anyone know they've affected you. When you appear completely unfazed, their insult becomes meaningless. You strip them of their power simply by refusing to acknowledge it. This is the psychological death of an enemy. Power, as Machiavelli believed, is perception. If people believe they can disrespect you without consequence, they will continue to do so. If they believe you'll respond emotionally, they'll provoke you for sport. But if they come to believe that disrespecting you leads to quiet, calculated, and inevitable consequences, they will fear you. And that fear is a powerful deterrent. Fear, to Machiavelli, is often stronger than love or even respect. It maintains order when all else fails. So, the Machiavellian way to handle disrespect isn't to argue, it is to observe. Study the person who insults you. Watch their patterns, their weaknesses, their pride. In their attack, they expose more about themselves than you ever could by defending yourself. Every insult is a confession of their own insecurity. Every act of disrespect reveals where they feel powerless. The Machiavellian mind collects this information patiently, like a master strategist. Because when you understand your enemy completely, you can dismantle them without effort, sometimes without even lifting a finger. If the insult comes from a fool, ignore it. Their disrespect is just the noise of irrelevance. If it comes from someone powerful, study it. They are showing you their hand. And if it comes from someone close to you, note it carefully, because betrayal always starts small. Don't confront them immediately. Let them think you didn't notice. Let them feel safe and secure in their petty victory. Then, when the time is right, you remove them from your life or your circle without a single word of explanation. This is Machiavellian discipline, cut silently, completely, and permanently. No warnings, no dramatic speeches, no emotional outbursts, just absence. And that silent absence will haunt them far more than your anger ever could. The darkest way to handle disrespect is psychological, not physical. You withdraw your warmth. You withdraw your attention. You withdraw your very presence. Soon, they'll realize they've lost your attention, and they'll begin to crave it. When they see they no longer affect you, they'll start to feel invisible. For an ego that seeks validation through provocation, this is a fate worse than any revenge you could ever plan. Being ignored by someone you tried to diminish feels like a death blow to the ego. Remember, your dignity is not protected by shouting matches. It is protected by silence and consequence. Words are the defense of the weak. Actions are the shield of the strong. And the most effective action is the one your enemy never sees coming. Keep your distance. Keep your plan close to your chest. And above all, keep your calm. They might think you've forgotten their transgression, but you remember everything. You are simply waiting for them to relax, for their guard to be down, for your timing to be perfect. And then you make your move once, precisely and decisively. This is how leaders handle disrespect. Never let disrespect provoke your emotions. Let it sharpen your mind. Treat every insult as valuable information. Every attack is data. Collect it, store it, and use it when it truly matters. Those who act from a place of rage burn out quickly. But those who act from a place of cold reason can burn eternally. The Machiavellian way isn't about forgiveness or simple vengeance. It's about establishing dominance through unwavering control. You must rise above the chaotic battlefield of emotion and master the art of psychological warfare. This is how you defeat your adversaries without ever touching them. Think about it. People who disrespect you are expecting a reaction. It's what they want. When you give them nothing, they're left alone with their own actions, and they begin to doubt themselves. When they see you not just surviving, but thriving despite their attacks, they're forced to confront their own insignificance. That's when the real pain begins for them. Your silence becomes their mirror, reflecting their own smallness back at them. And the higher you rise, the more their past disrespect will eat them from the inside out. There is no louder revenge than quiet, undeniable success. So the next time someone disrespects you, remember this: do not lower yourself to their level. Don't argue. Don't defend. Don't explain. Just smile, observe, and strategically disappear. And when you return, let your success, your presence, and your power be the only response they need. Let it be a silent reminder of why they should have never spoken your name in vain. This isn't about being cruel, it's about mastery. It is the dark elegance of power. That is the Machiavellian way. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, be sure to follow for more. Ever felt the sting of disrespect? That sharp, sudden jab that isn't just about the words, but about something much deeper? Disrespect is never about the insult itself. It's about power, control, and perception. The ancient strategist Machiavelli understood that the one who stays calm owns the battlefield. When someone disrespects you, they're not just throwing words. They're trying to provoke an emotion. They want you to flinch, to get angry, to react because your reaction is their reward. It tells them they have control over your emotions. But imagine this. What if you remain unmoved? What if your eyes stay cold and your tone remains steady? In that moment, they begin to lose their power. Their disrespect, their attack, it just collapses under its own weight because it failed to move you. For Machiavelli, handling disrespect was never about fairness or pride. It was a cold calculation of control. He believed that the person who controls the frame of the interaction controls the reality of it. If you let others dictate how you should feel, you've already surrendered your authority. But when you show them that nothing can disturb your inner composure, that even their sharpest insults are beneath your attention, you project a kind of strength that they will fear to test again. This isn't arrogance. It's a profound discipline. Think about it. The person who cannot be provoked cannot be controlled. Disrespect is like a fire. It thrives when you feed it. Every angry word you shout back, every desperate attempt to justify yourself is just oxygen for the flames. The more you scramble to defend your pride, the weaker you appear. Why? Because true, unshakable confidence never needs to explain itself. Machiavelli would say that a lion doesn't need to roar to prove it's dangerous. Its silent presence is more than enough. In the same way, when you refuse to react, when you keep your power quiet and focused, you communicate a sense of dominance without ever saying a word. This is the art of silent power. So how do we master this? There are 3 layers to handling disrespect the Machiavellian way. The first is immediate control. In that critical moment, you must master your emotions. Your face should remain unreadable, a calm mask. Your tone of voice must not waver. The first crack in your armor, The first sign of weakness always comes from the face. The truly strong are always calm, even when they're being insulted. This is your first line of defense. The second layer is observation. After the moment has passed, you must study why the disrespect happened. Was it born from envy? Was it their own insecurity bubbling to the surface? Was it a direct challenge to your authority? Every single act of disrespect has a motive, a hidden reason. Your job is to discover it. When you understand their motive, you understand them more deeply than they even understand themselves. You see their hidden vulnerabilities, their fears, and their desires. This knowledge is your power. The third layer is the delayed consequence. This is crucial. You must not react instantly. Let time pass. Let them forget the incident. Let them think they've won. Then, when the perfect opportunity presents itself, you make your move. And this move is not driven by anger, but by cold, hard logic. Sometimes, the most powerful move isn't revenge at all, it's distance. Disrespect often deserves exclusion, not confrontation. When someone crosses a line, you simply remove their access to you. No grand speeches, no dramatic warnings. Just a quiet, deliberate withdrawal. That silence, that absence, tells them everything they need to know. It tells them they are no longer worthy of your time or your attention. For a weak mind, being ignored is an unbearable punishment. It forces them to sit with their own insignificance, to confront the fact that their attempt to gain power over you has resulted in them becoming invisible. That is how you turn disrespect into dominance, by making them feel utterly irrelevant. Machiavelli knew that behind every insult, there is a hidden fear. People attack what they don't understand or what they secretly envy. When someone disrespects you, it's rarely ever about you. It's almost always a projection of their own internal chaos. They want to project their own weakness onto you, hoping you'll accept it as the truth. But if you can see through the act, you realize they are actually exposing their own vulnerabilities. The person who mocks you for being different is secretly terrified of your uniqueness. The one who belittles your ambition is consumed by fear of your potential. So, don't take disrespect personally. Instead, take it as evidence proof that you are seen as a threat. The Machiavellian mind never allows emotion to cloud its judgment. If you want to dominate the game of power, you must learn to stand perfectly still when others are desperately trying to shake you. Every emotional outburst reveals your weakness. Every moment of silence conceals your plan. People will misinterpret your calmness. They will call it arrogance. They'll label your silence as pride. But that's only because they cannot comprehend strength that doesn't make a lot of noise. When you must punish, do it quietly. A public confrontation makes you look emotional and reactive. A silent removal of your attention makes you look untouchable. As Machiavelli famously said, men should either be treated kindly or destroyed, because they can avenge light injuries but not severe ones. Now, in our modern world, destruction doesn't mean physical harm. It means eliminating their influence over your peace, your focus, and your reputation. It means making them irrelevant in your world. Nothing hurts an antagonist more than being completely forgotten by the very person they tried so hard to provoke. There is a power in stillness that very few people truly understand. The person who remains unbothered is the person who is feared. People will gossip to try and get a reaction. They will insult you to test your limits. But if you give them nothing, no reaction, no anger, not even a glance, they lose their control completely. Suddenly, they find themselves chasing your attention like a starving person chases food. And right there, in that moment, you have completely reversed the power dynamic. They started with disrespect. They end with an obsession over your non-reaction. Your goal is not to win arguments. Your goal is to win silently. Every time someone disrespects you, they are handing you a valuable piece of information: who they are, what they fear, and what they value. Use it. Collect that data. Let them believe they've won the momentary battle, but in your silence, you are building a long-term strategy. The person who thinks less feels more. The person who observes feels nothing but plans everything. Disrespect will come at you from all directions, from friends, from family, from total strangers. But it is your reaction and your reaction alone that decides whether it grows into a wildfire or dies out as a spark. Machiavelli would tell you to treat every single insult as a test of your power. You cannot control what others say, but you can always control what you give your energy to. Every reaction is an investment. You must spend it wisely. Give your emotion only to those who have earned it and deserve it. To the rest, give nothing. And when you absolutely must respond, respond with results. Success silences every critic. As you rise higher, those who once disrespected you will suddenly pretend they always admired you. Don't correct them. Don't expose their hypocrisy. Just smile. Let them live with the quiet, knowing shame of having underestimated you so badly. That is the sweetest and most profound form of power, to make those who doubted you watch as you ascend far beyond their reach. So the next time disrespect comes knocking at your door, and it will remember the 3 pillars: silence, observation, and timing. Do not let mere words disturb your inner peace. Instead, let your calmness disturb theirs. Do not prove yourself with anger. Prove yourself with your success. The darkest, most effective way to handle disrespect is not to seek revenge, but to achieve a total transformation. Because nothing on this earth terrifies your enemies more than seeing you become completely and utterly untouchable. That is the true way of Machiavelli. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more insights into the dynamics of power. Stay strong and stay in control. The world will test your patience with disrespect every single day. It'll come from strangers who envy your calm, from friends who can't stand your growth, from people who once praised you, but now feel threatened by your silence. Most will expect you to react, to defend yourself, to get pulled into their little drama. But as Machiavelli might tell you, the moment you engage, you descend to their level. The moment you react, you lose the illusion of control, and power is always about illusion. The strong create perception, the weak simply react to it. The art of handling disrespect begins with emotional detachment. You have to train yourself to see words and gestures as data, not daggers. When someone insults you, don't think, "They hate me." Instead think, "They just exposed how small they are." Each insult reveals a fracture in the other person's ego. The truly powerful never waste time attacking others. They're too busy creating, building, and winning. Only the powerless have the time to throw stones. Every time someone disrespects you, it's a confession that they feel inferior. Machiavelli believed that power lies in what others believe about you, not what they know for sure. That's why your reaction matters more than the insult itself. If you react with rage, people see instability. If you react with a flood of words, people see insecurity. But if you react with stillness, people see strength. Your silence will always be louder than their noise. Because when a calm person is insulted and doesn't flinch, the audience begins to question the credibility of the attacker, not the target. The dark truth is, most people who disrespect you are watching for your weakness. They want to see if they can control your emotions, because emotional people are predictable, and predictable people are easy to manipulate. But when you stay unreadable, they become the ones trapped in confusion. They don't know if they've hurt you. They don't know if you're plotting something, and that uncertainty becomes their punishment. Power doesn't require revenge, it requires control. The Machiavellian way isn't about shouting back. It's about holding your ground so completely that your presence alone demands respect. Think of a storm. A weak man shouts like thunder. A powerful man moves like lightning, silent, sudden, and unstoppable. The moment you respond emotionally, you become thunder, loud but fleeting. The moment you stay composed, you become lightning, precise, terrifying, and unforgettable. When Machiavelli wrote the Prince he said rulers must learn to appear virtuous, not necessarily be virtuous. The same applies to respect. You don't need everyone to like you. You need them to think twice before crossing you. That isn't achieved by anger, but by aura. People should feel, without words, that disrespecting you will cost them something: your favor, your presence, your silence, and that cost should be too high for them to afford. You see, the world doesn't respect kindness, it respects consequence. You can be kind, but only when it's a choice, not when it's your default setting. When kindness is constant, people mistake it for weakness. But when your calmness hides the potential for ruthlessness, people hesitate. That's the balance Machiavelli admired, a lion's strength hidden behind a fox's calm smile. Never show your teeth unless it's necessary, but make sure everyone knows you have them. The cruelest punishment for disrespect is indifference, because indifference tells them they don't matter. It's the opposite of revenge, it's deletion. When you stop caring, they stop existing in your world. And that destroys them more than any insult ever could. People crave attention, especially from those they've tried to hurt. When you take that away, you strip them of their meaning. They begin to chase your validation, and that's when you own them without ever lifting a finger. Sometimes you must act like you didn't even notice the disrespect. This shows superiority. The powerful don't notice small people throwing stones. They're too far above. And when others see you ignoring it with elegance, they start treating the offender like they're invisible too. That's how you dismantle a reputation, not by fighting it, but by starving it of attention. But don't mistake this silence for forgiveness. Machiavellian silence remembers everything. You may not react now, but your mind should record every act, every word, every betrayal. Time will eventually present an opportunity, and when it does, your response will be strategic, not emotional. You'll remove them quietly, subtly, in a way that looks like coincidence. They'll never see it coming because they mistook your calmness for mercy. Remember, disrespect is a trap. It's designed to lower you. The only way to win is to stay above it. The higher you rise, the quieter your world becomes. Not because people suddenly like you, but because they've learned that provoking you has consequences. Your silence, your distance, your composure, these are your weapons. Use them like a blade that cuts without being seen. Machiavelli would remind you that humans are predictable. They attack what they envy and insult what they fear. So when people disrespect you, it's not a mark of your failure, it's proof of your power. Every attack you receive is a reflection of your impact. And the more you grow, the more it will come. The wise don't fight it, they expect it. They turn disrespect into energy, into focus, into motivation. So the next time someone disrespects you, don't lower your tone. Don't rush to defend yourself. Just look them in the eyes with calm certainty and say nothing. Because silence, when mastered, becomes the language of the strong, and those who dare to test it always regret it. The darkest way to handle disrespect is to become untouchable, so calm that chaos can't reach you, and so focused that nothing beneath your purpose is worth your attention. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more insights. Stay strong and stay focused. Ever heard the saying, disrespect is a mirror? Machiavelli would tell you it reflects more about the one who gives it than the one who receives it. When someone disrespects you, they aren't showing you who you are. They're showing you who they are. They're revealing their envy, their insecurity, and their desperate lack of control. They're trying to pull you down into their chaos because they can't stand your composure. Think about it. Most people don't attack because they're strong. They attack because your quiet confidence reminds them of how powerless they feel. They try to provoke you, hoping for a reaction that will make them feel like you're equal. But the wise person never reacts, they observe. They let the attacker's own words expose their weakness. They know that silence isn't submission, it's strategy. When someone disrespects you, they're practically begging for your attention. They want to feed on your reaction because your energy validates them. The more you argue, the more you empower them, and a Machiavellian mind never gives away power for free. If you must respond, respond with your progress. Respond by outgrowing them so completely that their insults look ridiculously small next to your success. Nothing burns a disrespectful person more than watching you rise while they stagnate in their own irrelevance. The ultimate punishment for disrespect isn't revenge. It's success combined with total indifference. When your results speak louder than your anger, you win without ever entering the fight. People will whisper, insult, and mock, but the moment they see you thriving, they fall silent. Why? Because success redefines the story. They can't discredit what everyone else can plainly see. Machiavelli believed that true power doesn't come from words, it comes from outcomes. So, stop wasting your breath trying to explain yourself. Let your victories do all the talking. Now, there are times when disrespect must be handled directly, but not with rage, with precision. If someone threatens your position, undermines your authority, or spreads doubt within your circle, you must act calmly and efficiently. Remove them from any position of influence, but never announce it. Let them simply fade away as if time itself erased them. A quiet removal is always more powerful than a public spectacle. The world should only see their absence, not your anger. Because when you look unbothered while others fall, you appear inevitable. Machiavelli understood that mercy is wasted on the ungrateful. The more you tolerate disrespect, the more you invite it. Being kind to a snake only teaches it to bite deeper. You can forgive privately for your own peace of mind, but never publicly reward their insolence. If someone disrespects you and you pretend nothing happened, you don't appear noble, you appear weak. The key is balance. Let the small, petty insults die in silence, but strike decisively against those who repeatedly challenge your dignity. A single, well-timed act of strength will silence 10 future enemies. The modern world has forgotten this principle. Everyone wants to explain their side, to prove their truth, but Machiavelli would laugh at that. The world doesn't care about the truth. It cares about perception. If someone disrespects you publicly, don't get into a debate. Just smile. Because those who are truly powerful never have to explain themselves. They are understood without words. Explanation is for the powerless. Composure is for kings and queens. You see, when you react emotionally, you confirm the very image your enemy wants to paint of you. They want you angry so they can call you unstable. They want you defensive so they can call you guilty. But when you stay calm, you rob them of their narrative. You make them look like fools, swinging at shadows. That's why emotional control is the highest form of dominance. It turns every insult into a weapon that backfires on the one who threw it. A true Machiavellian thinker uses disrespect as a lesson in human nature. Each time you're insulted, study the motive. Did they feel threatened by your presence? Did your silence make them insecure? Was it your success that sparked their jealousy? Every insult is a clue, a data point that reveals the social map around you. Learn from it. Because real power isn't about reacting, it's about reading. And the one who reads people best rules them silently. You also have to master the art of selective attention. Not everyone deserves your reaction, your defense, or even a glance. The more important you become, the more selective you must be. When you give attention to those beneath your level, you pull yourself down. The powerful always look upward, never sideways, so ignore the noise. Let fools waste their energy on gossip while you build your empire in silence. When people see that they cannot disturb your peace, they begin to respect it. Not because they like you, but because they fear what they can't move. Humans fear what they can't control. And when you show them that their disrespect can't touch you, they start treating you like something sacred, touchable, unpredictable, and formidable. That's Machiavellian respect. It isn't love, it's fear mixed with admiration. But beware of pride. Being unbothered doesn't mean being arrogant. It means being centered. Arrogance is loud. Composure is quiet. Arrogance seeks validation from others. Composure creates its own. The Machiavellian way is subtle. You must walk with a quiet power, the kind that others feel but can't quite describe. When you enter a room, you shouldn't need to speak for people to know who holds the authority. If someone disrespects you in public, the best revenge is to remain graceful. Do not lower your standards to meet them in the dirt. Let them drown in their own bitterness while you stand untouchable. The audience always remembers the one who kept their dignity. And time has a funny way of revealing who was in control all along. Machiavelli taught that every act of disrespect is a test of your self-command. If you fail the test, you give your power away. But if you pass it, your enemies become your greatest teachers. They strengthen your discipline. They sharpen your control. Every insult becomes a lesson in patience, every betrayal a lesson in strategy. The person who learns from their enemies becomes unbeatable. So the next time someone disrespects you, don't fight, don't explain, don't rage. Just smile to yourself. Because you've just been given an opportunity to demonstrate mastery over your own mind. You've just been handed the chance to prove you're above it all. And once you master that, no insult, no betrayal, no noise in this world can ever touch you. That's when you reach the highest level of power, the Machiavellian calm that commands respect without ever asking for it. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, consider liking this video and subscribing for more insights. Stay powerful.